First, I want to thank our two colleagues for being here today, and they will be recognized shortly. But as many members know, that the subject of the Federal Reserve and monetary policy has been something that I've been interested in for a long time, believing that it has a great deal of significance, with regards to a healthy economy. Today we'll be discussing the various proposals to address the subject of some of the shortcomings of the monetary system. And I think what has happened here in these last 5 years, it has been recognized by many that monetary policy in the Federal Reserve has a lot to do with the creation of some of our problems and their shortcomings when it comes to solving these problems. The Federal Reserve has been around for almost 100 years next year. And, of course, it has gone generally under the radar. Not too many people talk precisely because it was always said that it should not be interfered with by the executive branch or the legislative branch. But lately there's been more concern. Last year, with the help of Congressman Frank, we were able to get some transparency of the Fed, and he was obviously quite helpful in moving that along. From my viewpoint, we still have more to do on that, but it's very clear whether we decide, exactly what constitutional money is and how it comes about. I don't think many people reject the idea that the Congress does have responsibility of oversight and figuring out exactly how to handle that. So with the crisis that came about in the last 5 years ago, I think an attitude changed dramatically. I think this is the reason that we had strong support in the last session for auditing the Fed, and more information has come out because of the lawsuits. But the way I see the monetary policy, and I think it's generally neglected, is most people realize how big the economy is, and they know about supply and demand of all products and goods and services and labor. But generally, they don't talk a whole lot about the other half of the equation, and that's the monetary issue. The monetary issue is one half of all the transactions. So to duck the issue and pretend it's not important, I think has been a mistake. I personally believe that over these many decades, the Federal Reserve has gotten a free pass, because if we had good times, if they were able to stimulate the economy and have easy credit, and we had good times, they got the credit. Then if the predictable slumps would arrive and something had to be done, Congress would generally act, and the Federal Reserve would act, and they'd get the credit for getting us out of the slump. But I think that has changed in the last 5 years because of the seriousness of the crisis, how global it is, and how one of the consequences has been this excessive debt, and then the bailing out that occurred. So what the Congress did on the bailouts was significant but minor compared to how much the Federal Reserve was able to do. And for this reason, so many people want to know a lot more about what's going on. So not only do we want to know about policy, and a lot will be discussed today about the particular policies and how to guide that policy, but one thing we should not forget about is the nature of money. If we're trying to describe how we manage a monetary system, it seems to be most difficult, in my view, that you have to be able to define money and define the dollar, which has not been done for a long, long time. We use the Federal Reserve note as the unit of account, but there's no legal definition of a Federal Reserve note, and that's a pledge to pay something. So a note being something precise, and then you have to have management, and it doesn't work well, then we think, well, we just need more regulations and everything will work out smoothly. I have a lot of reservations about that because I think we have a lot of inflation. We have a lot of instability in prices. And even when the reports come out that the prices are rather stable, they seem to ignore the fact that the cost of living for many is going up significantly. The price of energy goes up, the price of medical care goes up, the price of education goes up. So even when the CPI and the PPI might not be revealing what's happening, there still is a lot of destruction of the value of money. And for this reason now, we've been in a decade or so where the real wages have not been able to keep up, which really is the bottom line, I believe. The unemployment factor and keeping up with the cost of living and keeping up with real wages. So I'm very pleased to have the various members today, as well as on the second panel, to discuss what I consider a very, very important issue. And now I would like to yield 5 minutes to Mr. Clay.